Welcome to From Blueprint to Beautiful, the podcast where we take you behind the scenes of home remodeling. I'm Heather Francis, and with my husband, Michael Francis, we own and operate Francis Renovations. We've spent years helping homeowners turn their renovation dreams into reality. Whether you're planning your next big project, love a good before and after, or just want to avoid common renovation pitfalls, you're in the right place. So grab a coffee or a hammer, and let's dive in. Hi, I'm Heather Francis, and welcome to another episode of From Blueprint to Beautiful. Today, I am solo. You just get me. But I do talk to our chief architectural designer, Savanna Thomas. If you have worked with us and you needed renderings for anything, if there is like a bathroom or, any kind of, addition, interior work, you probably have interacted with Savanna on some level. She does the layouts for us, and she works on the spatial planning. She has been working with us for a few years, and she's not only incredibly talented, but also just a trusted member of our extended team. One of the things that makes her unique is that she only works with contractors, which means she truly understands how design and construction have to work hand in hand. In this conversation, you'll get a peek into how she approaches a blank space, why the family dynamic matters so much in design, and the process she uses to bring layouts to life. I really enjoyed talking to her. I love Savanna. I love working with her, and I loved this conversation that we had. I got a lot out of it, and I talk to her fairly regularly. So I know that you're going to get a lot out of it too. Take a listen, and let's get into it. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to From Blueprint to Beautiful. I'm here today with Savanna Thomas. She's the founder and lead designer at Seabrook Design. Thank you for joining me, Savanna.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell everybody just a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a virtual design and drafting firm, and we are a to-the-trade service. So we are geared to assist design build firms, designers, builders in creating concept plans, cabinet plans, 3D renderings, all the way to final construction drawings.
So if you're someone who has worked with us and has had a layout done, you've been either directly or indirectly affected by Savanna and her team, her very talented team.
Thank you. Yeah, we love that.
So Savanna, you work with you and I were talking about that. You just work with contractors. So if this is a homeowner that's listening, you would have to call us and we could work with you through Savanna. But just that quick note. We're going to talk about design today. We're going to talk about layouts a lot. And this is going to be a lot of fun. Savanna, you are looking at a blank space. What's the first thing you think about when you're creating a layout?
I think about who the homeowner is, what the family dynamic is. Because I think that's what's so important is a blank space can be configured in so many different ways. But if you don't understand who that blank space is for, your brain as a designer is going to go several different directions. But to know what to hone in on, you have to know the dynamic of who you're designing for. Are they a family with kids? Are they, an older couple who you need to take aging in place into consideration? So I think a blank space can be so inspiring, but I don't think you're going to be pulling the right form of inspiration unless you pause and know specifically who that space is being designed for.
So then you see a lot of floor plans. And then, and understanding, and you have a taking into account who the client is and all of those things. Is there one thing that you wish people understood before they started this process?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially in the renovation side of things, not necessarily new construction, but we don't know what we can't see. And it's shown all the time of, when you take walls down, sometimes there's things in there that there were just no way for us to plan in advance for. So I think it's just understanding that renovation has some unknown variables in it. And we do our very best to make educated assumptions at the beginning of the project during that layout and design phase. But just knowing that things may come up and we might have to have some flexibility in some of our ideas. It's just something I wish everybody kind of went into the project with a little bit of an open mind of just, we're doing the best we can as the educated professionals, but we don't know what we can't see.
Well, right. And to that point, when we send you stuff, we send you scans through Canvas. So we use the LiDAR technology, and sometimes it misses things. Because we did the basement, remember? And it missed like a beam or something. So we had to go back in and, and there's, so sometimes there's things that get missed.
Absolutely. And I mean, technology, especially Canvas and programs like that, really make us in the virtual capacity able to do what we do. So we're very thankful for technology, but it's also just on our end, knowing that we can only trust technology to a certain extent. So when we have, existing photos or other things that we can cross-reference to what technology has given us, it helps us check ourselves early on in the process to just try to make sure we are accounting for all details.
Yeah, right. And not to do like a sales pitch for Canvas, but the nice part is, in addition to like the layout itself, it gives you the 3D picture. So you can kind of go back and look and be like, oh wait, there's that.
Yep, absolutely. I'm always on the receiving end of Canvas, but for one of the first times earlier this week, I did a scan myself for a personal project for a friend that I'm going to be working on that's really exciting, but I can't say much right now. But I needed to refer to something yesterday, and I don't have my formal chief architect plan back from Canvas. So I just went in that 3D viewer and was able to answer the questions that I needed, even in this waiting period. So I'm same thing. I absolutely love Canvas. I pitch Canvas to a lot of people who may not use it at the moment. It does. It solves a lot of issues before they even come up.
Oh yeah. And the first time we used it, I was like, there's no way this is going to work. Because I'm not good with stuff like that. Like anything, I was like, I'm going to make this wrong. And it's pretty foolproof. Like I can even use it. So
even me. And this first project that I scanned, I mean, I've done some smaller scale spaces, but this was over a 4,000 square foot space that I got to scan with Canvas. So for me coming into it, relatively new to that side of things, it's very user friendly. And I'm a big proponent for utilizing it. Again, especially if you're working with somebody in a virtual capacity.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about, like what you wish homeowners understood. What's one thing you wish people would stop doing? It doesn't have to be like anything. Is there something that people do that you're like, that just doesn't work, or that is bad?
Well, it's more so not specific things that I see done. It's more of what I don't see done. I feel like so many people are afraid to like fully commit to what they want. They're still trying to, and if you're selling your home in 2 years, like, yes, please. But if this is a home that you see yourself and your family in long term, like I wish people would stop appealing to the masses, because, we went through that phase of everything's all white, and that's fine. Some people love that look, but slowly we're starting to see color kind of re-enter the chat here. And I just feel like more people would just give into that and stop just doing things because you think they're safe, and do things that really are going to make you happy in your home.
Oh, I love that. I love that answer. I love that answer so much, because that's the same answer we give when somebody's like, do I take the bathtub out or do I leave it? And we're like, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah. I mean, I recently renovated my kitchen about a year and a half ago, and I did my whole kitchen is wood cabinetry, and not like the white oak light stain that everybody's been doing. Like I went with this medium warm tone wood, because it's exactly what I wanted. Like it gave that overall feel that I wanted. Yeah. And it's not considered trendy. It's not considered necessarily in style at this given moment, but not once have I regretted that decision, because it catered to me and my family. So I just wish people would stop catering to everybody and cater to yourself. Like you've saved money for this project for years. Like you've thought about this, you've pinned things on Pinterest for years. Just do what you want to do.
Savannah, I'm going to pin this and I'm going to send it out to every client that we start working with.
It's true. And I get if it's for resale, if there's a specific reason, we need to think in that mentality. This isn't a one size fits all situation, but I think we've played it safe for so long. Like let's take a few risks and be a little bit more specific to you moving forward.
I love that. I love that. Thank you.
Perfect.
So on that note, how do you balance beauty and functionality when a client's wish list has a little bit of both, but not enough space for everything? So when someone comes to you and they're like, I want A, B, C, D, and E, and there's space for like A, B, and C, how do you balance that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it definitely depends on the space. Are we in a kitchen where we can reassess the types of appliances? Like, Are we able to combine to arrange instead of having a cooktop and a double oven and still be able to have that beautiful vent hood? Or are we in a space where we're really just looking at the total layout? I think nailing that function on the head first, and part of my process is I start with that layout because I think getting that box checked is the number one thing we need to do. And then we can introduce the aesthetic and all the beautiful details from there. So I think just still prioritizing that function is the number one key. And then once you've been able to check, and again, I think there's multiple solutions. Maybe it's something completely different than what you've been thinking about in your head, but we can go about it a different way to still achieve that exact same thing from a function perspective. We work through all those details first, and then I think you have the opportunity to introduce that beauty anywhere, in any capacity. Anything can be beautiful no matter what it is. As long as we're checking that box of function, then we assess the beauty, and that I think there's no limit to.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about your process. Can you walk through a little bit more of what your process is? So you have we come to you and we say we've got this client that wants a new bathroom or whatever this project is. What is your process from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So first we gather all that key information from you. So that canvas scan, existing photos, a general understanding of the scope of work obviously is a good starting point. Typically we'll have a conversation with you, just 30 minutes of, hey, let's talk about this project so we make sure we understand the why behind it, because there's no point in drawing plans if we don't understand the why. And again, who it's for, what's that dynamic. So we really start there. And then, like I said, we start with function. So I care about what it looks like, but first and foremost, I care about that function is met. So that's exactly where we start. Floor plans, elevations, black and white line drawings, just really making sure everything's laid out in the way that it needs to, that it does check those boxes. From there, once that's been presented to the homeowner, whether we're a part of that process or it's being presented directly by you, we get that feedback and start to play into that more aesthetic side of things. So if we've got that floor plan nailed down, then we can start layering in details, wall treatments, ceiling treatments, applying custom materials into our rendering so that you get a full colored rendering to make sure you really like the way all the materials are coming together. So we take a very layered approach to the process, and we try to be mindful of turnaround time. Obviously, as you break things out like that, times can start, extending, and we don't want that. So we try to, make sure we're taking individual steps, but relatively quick steps to get through the process in a timely manner.
So while you're going through this process, we talked a little bit about trends in your kitchen. Mm-hmm. How much do you allow current trends to influence your designs on a regular basis? Or is it pretty much just like the basics? You stick to the basics?
Yeah, I like for things to be classic and timeless to a degree because this is an investment. Any type of renovation is a really big investment. So I want to make sure that I'm being classic and timeless, or really catered to the individual homeowner, not as much the trends, on the most expensive pieces of the puzzle. So your cabinetry, maybe your countertops, like really keeping those pieces timeless. Then if you want to throw in some trendy cabinet hardware or backsplash, those pieces that are a little bit easier and more affordable to change out in the future, I think that's where we can really introduce those trends. So I'm not against a trendy kitchen if it's something that truly speaks to somebody, but at the same time, I just want to make sure we're balancing everything so that we're taking that longevity into effect, because these spaces aren't something you're going to want to redo in 5 years. It's something we want to last, 10, 15, 20 on years. And I just think as the professional, I need to help guide you through that and just make sure we're looking at things from multiple perspectives before we commit to a super trendy project.
Yeah, I think that's right. If you had an unlimited budget and zero client restrictions, what's one design element you would add to every project?
Gosh, I have a lot of little details I would love to incorporate into every house. A bigger one is, I think, a steam shower or an in-home sauna. Just, we all work so hard, something like that that's gonna just you get to use it daily. It's gonna relax you. It's gonna improve your health. A little detail, I guess it's not little, but a detail like that is something that I think everybody should get to enjoy.
I agree with you. I would do that here in a heartbeat.
Right?
That would be so, that would, yeah. You're right. Because Everybody deserves that.
Yeah, everybody deserves that. And it can be such a small part of just your daily routine that, again, it's going to have so many impacts, positive impacts, both mentally, physical health. Like, I just think something like that would be so cool for everybody to get to enjoy.
Is there a request that you've gotten from a client that has surprised you?
So, not as not a specific request, but the project as a whole. And I won't say too much because to each their own. I've said make it specific to you, and sure enough, here we are. I designed and drew plans for a catio, which is an enclosed patio specific for cats.
So I understand the mentality behind that. That's the coolest thing. I would do that for my Yorkie because I'm always scared a hawk would come just take him. That's...
Yep. And it was like, I mean, it's cool. It's the most unique project I can ever say we've done. And it's just like, I enlisted the help of one of my designers who has cats. So I'm like, she's going to know, like, what's a cat's dream world type situation where I'm not a big cat person. So I didn't feel as informed. So I'm like, all right, take this and run with it. Like, so it's got like literally a catwalk and it's got all these different trees in it. And it's all enclosed. I mean, it was probably a 10 by 15 foot exterior addition. Like, you know what? If your goal in life is to make your cats happy, like that's a way to do it. Go for it.
I understand the headspace behind that because I would absolutely do that for my dog. 100%
Right?
I would do that for my dog. So did they actually build it? Do you know if they actually built it?
I don't know if they actually built it or not. I should follow up. It's probably been, time's been flying. So it's probably been longer than I think it has been. But I'd say we designed it at least 6, maybe 8 months ago.
That's fantastic. That exceeds my expectations, actually.
It was like the coolest set of construction drawings. We kept them very general. We did a lot of renderings for it, but like chief architects not necessarily catered to have like all those details. So we definitely had to be creative and like, how do we draw this? Like, where do we pull these elements from? I wish I could show them to you. The designer Amelia who did it, like she even put like 3D cats in the renderings. It was crazy.
Well, and you guys, like for the listeners, it is like they're 3D renderings. Like it looks like you're looking at a picture of a space. Like, the value that what you guys do, the value that it adds to our clients and their vision, like is immeasurable.
I love that side of it. Because, I mean, we as the designer contractor team really care about those construction drawings and those details and those dimensions. Like, it's the part that we care most about. But those 3D renderings, and like you said, what that does for the homeowners being able to envision that space and make sure they like what they're committing to. Like, it really is something that not every company does it, but it is such a big value add. And it's something I wish more companies would do.
Oh, yeah, it's huge because I know, like, I can't visualize. I'm not a visual person. I cannot visualize spaces. I need to see it. So they'll talk about it like this, and I'll be like, oh, and then you guys send everything over, and I'm like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. Now I can join the conversation.
Yeah, and just seeing like those materials we talked about earlier. How is that balance of classic versus trendy, when we put all that together, like, okay, did we choose the right pieces for this space? And, chief architect can't get everything specific, but we do our best to just make sure we are really getting those as realistic as possible, just because it boosts everybody's confidence in the process and what their expected outcome is going to be.
Especially tile. Like I have an exceptionally hard time visualizing tile, and I know a lot of homeowners do too. So seeing it all together. Yeah, we can even adjust
the tile pattern. Like if you're just not sure, like vertical, horizontal, whatever it may be, we can create custom tile patterns and plug those in just to let you weigh your options, because that's not something you can easily, in the moment redo if you end up not liking it. So seeing something even that small of a detail ahead of time can just really make a big difference in managing expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. I have one last fun question for you. If you could design a space for any celebrity, who would it be and why?
Oh, I have I don't even have to think about this.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So I'll caveat, I'm not a big celebrity person. I don't keep up with things going on. I don't watch a ton of movies and shows. So for me, my celebrity would be Guy Fieri from the Food Network. And I would 100% want to design his kitchen. Because one, imagine the budget that he has. I mean, it's like unlimited.
Unlimited. Yeah.
Imagine his requests. They're going to be like any other requests you've ever gotten from a client. And I can just think, like, I consider myself a really good kitchen designer. Like, it's just my favorite. It's my favorite part of what we design. I love cabinetry. Like, I love laying things out. So I consider myself to be pretty well versed in that.
Yeah.
But I think somebody like a professional chef would teach me, I mean, several things about, he's going to see things from a different perspective, all in that function category that I probably have not, thought about as just this measly home cook. So I think designing for professional chefs, specifically a kitchen, specifically Guy, because he's my man, he's who I would pick hands down.
I love that. Could you imagine some of the stuff that he would put into that? That would be wild. That would be so fun.
And there's going to be like several sets of appliances. Like he's not just doing one refrigerator. Like it's going to be a big space. There's going to be a lot of asks, which even though it's a big space and a lot of asks, like it can still get challenging. So I just feel like it would be the most rewarding challenge. And, if Guy Fieri's watching this, I hope he gives me a chance one day.
We'll tag him in it.
Yeah. I don't take this lightly. I think I could learn a thing or two from him. And I think I could really wow him with my kitchen design.
I think that would be a lot of fun. There would have to be flames somewhere.
Right? Like, I just see this backsplash behind the hood, just really
That's what I was thinking
hand painted. You've got flames coming up off of your range top. Like, I've got the vision, so I'm ready whenever he's ready for me.
We're going to tag him in it. Yeah, Guy, if you're listening, this could be fun.
Yeah, let me do it.
Let me do it. Savannah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I get to think about things. I never actually pose the questions to myself.
For everybody listening, if you are a contractor or a builder and you would like to work with Savannah and her team, I will put her information in the show notes so that you can reach out to her. And for everybody else, thank you so much for listening. As always, if there's anything that you'd like to hear us talk about, you can reach out to me at heather@francisrenovations.com or, of course, through the socials. We'll talk to you next time. And that's a wrap for this episode of From Blueprint to Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed the conversation and took away some helpful insights for your own home projects. If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you have a renovation question or a story to share, I'd love to hear from you. You can connect with me at heather@francisrenovations.com, follow along on social media, or reach out at www.francisrenovations.com. And hey, if you're feeling generous, leave a quick rating and review. It helps more homeowners like you find the show. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep dreaming, designing, and building.